Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because Hollywood has just delivered another juicy scandal that has the internet buzzing. This time, it's not just any celebrities, it's the queen of pop culture herself, Taylor Swift, her longtime bestie Blake Lively, and actor-director Justin Baldoni. Yes, you heard that right. Somehow, someway, Taylor's been pulled into a messy legal battle involving Blake and Justin, and it's giving us drama straight out of a soap opera. But to understand how we got here, let's rewind. Because this isn't just about lawyers and lawsuits, it's about friendship, fame, and a love story that has turned into pure Hollywood chaos. The movie that started it all, It Ends With Us. Back in 2016, author Colleen Hoover released her best-selling novel, It Ends With Us. The book exploded on Book Talk, becoming a cultural phenomenon. Readers were obsessed with its raw depiction of love, heartbreak, and survival. Naturally, Hollywood came knocking, and soon whispers began about a film adaptation. Fast forward to 2021, news broke that It Ends With Us would officially hit the big screen. And guess who was attached? None other than Justin Baldoni, heartthrob from Jane the Virgin, stepping in not just as an actor but also as director. Fans were split, some excited, some skeptical. But the hype was real. Then came the bombshell. Blake Lively was cast as the lead, Lily Bloom. Overnight, the internet lost its mind. Blake had been relatively quiet on the big screen, and suddenly, she was front and center in one of the most anticipated adaptations of the decade. Now, here's where things get interesting. Blake Lively and Taylor Swift aren't just casual acquaintances, they're ride-or-die besties. We're talking vacations together, inside jokes, birthday parties, and even Taylor featuring Blake's kids' names in her music. Their friendship has been Hollywood goals for years. So when Blake signed on for It Ends With Us, fans immediately wondered, would Taylor somehow get involved? After all, Taylor's music has always been the soundtrack to heartbreak and resilience themes that perfectly match Colleen Hoover's story. And sure enough, rumors started swirling. Could Taylor be contributing to the soundtrack? Could she even make a cameo? While nothing was confirmed, the whispers were enough to keep Swifties glued to every update about the movie. Justin Baldoni's vision. On the other side of this glittering project was Justin Baldoni. Known for his charm and nice guy image, Justin wasn't just acting, he was steering the entire ship as director and producer. He positioned himself as someone who wanted to bring Hoover's novel to life with respect and sensitivity. But as filming got underway, things didn't look so rosy behind the scenes. Reports began trickling out about tensions on set. Blake and Justin, insiders claimed, weren't exactly best friends. Creative differences, personality clashes, no one could pin it down. But something was brewing. The legal drama erupts. Then, in a twist straight out of a courtroom thriller, the drama burst into public view. Blake Lively filed legal complaints against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of creating a hostile and harassing environment during the making of It Ends With Us. The internet went wild. Blake, who's always been seen as classy, private, and drama-free, suddenly making these claims, it shocked Hollywood. And Justin, the so-called good guy of TV, his reputation took an instant hit. But wait, it gets even messier. Because in response, Justin didn't just defend himself, he filed counterclaims, accusing Blake of breaching agreements and painting an entirely different picture of what went down behind the scenes. Suddenly, what was supposed to be a feel-good film adaptation had turned into a courtroom showdown. And then, Taylor Swift gets dragged in. As if things weren't messy enough, Taylor Swift's name started popping up in legal documents. Why? Because of her close relationship with Blake, and allegedly because she might have been present during certain conversations, or at least aware of behind-the-scenes dynamics. Suddenly, lawyers were asking, could Taylor Swift be deposed? Yes. As in Taylor sitting down, under oath, to answer questions about her best friend's legal war with Justin Baldoni. Swifties couldn't believe it. How could the world's biggest pop star, someone who's currently selling out stadiums, winning awards, and living her billionaire era, get dragged into this Hollywood mess? And yet, that's exactly what's happening. The internet reacts. When the story hit the press, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram exploded. Memes started pouring in. Taylor walking into a courtroom with her guitar, Taylor writing a D-track called It Ends With Him, Blake and Taylor whispering in the courtroom like it's high school drama. Fans of Colleen Hoover were devastated this was supposed to be the movie event of the year, and now it was buried under scandal. Swifties, meanwhile, were torn. Some wanted Taylor to stay, far, far away, while others secretly hoped she'd testify just so we'd get more iconic quotes from her. The legal mess. Now that we know how this storm started, let's dive into the heart of it, the legal drama itself. Because what's unfolding behind the closed doors of Hollywood lawyers' offices is juicier than any script a screenwriter could dream up. And the biggest shocker, the possibility of Taylor Swift, yes, the Taylor Swift having to answer questions in a courtroom. Blake Lively's claims. When Blake filed her legal complaint against Justin Baldoni, Hollywood gasped. She wasn't just throwing shade, she was making serious allegations. According to leaked court filings, Blake accused Justin of creating a harassing and hostile environment on the set of It Ends With Us. Sources close to Blake claim she felt undermined creatively, excluded from certain decisions, and even subjected to inappropriate behavior. Now, Blake Lively is not someone who speaks out often. She's famously private, choosing family life with Ryan Reynolds and carefully curated projects over public drama. So, for her to go legal, that meant things were bad, really bad. Her filing painted a picture of Justin as controlling and manipulative, someone who used his dual role as actor and director to push his vision, even if it came at Blake's expense. Justin Baldoni strikes back. Of course, Justin wasn't about to sit quietly while his Hollywood image went up in flames. Almost immediately, he filed counterclaims. In his version of events, Blake was the one being difficult, refusing to follow certain agreements, clashing with crew members, and even sabotaging the film's schedule. Justin's camp suggested Blake was trying to tarnish his reputation because of creative disagreements, not actual misconduct. His team painted him as the victim of a power struggle, not the villain of the story. So now we had a full-blown he said, she said situation, to powerful Hollywood names pointing fingers, and the truth hidden somewhere in the middle. Enter Taylor Swift's name. And then came the twist nobody saw coming, Taylor Swift's name appearing in the legal back and forth. Why Taylor? Well, because she's been practically inseparable from Blake Lively for years. She's attended birthdays, family dinners, movie shoots, you name it. Court insiders claim Taylor may have either witnessed conversations between Blake and Justin, or at the very least been privy to the emotional toll Blake described. Justin's legal team reportedly wanted Taylor deposed. That means lawyers would get to sit her down under oath and ask her about what she knew. For Taylor, that's not just inconvenient, it's a headline-making nightmare. Imagine being pulled away from your billion-dollar Eras tour, your NFL stadium appearances, your massive Netflix projects just to answer messy Hollywood questions about your best friend's lawsuit. Taylor's response. Taylor's team wasted no time shutting down speculation. According to her reps, she has not agreed to any deposition. However, they did admit, if legally required, she will comply. Translation: Taylor Swift, the global superstar, could one day find herself sitting across from Justin Baldoni's lawyers, answering questions about drama that has nothing to do with her career. The internet didn't know whether to scream, cry, or laugh at the thought. Twitter and TikTok erupt. Of course, the moment Taylor's name hit the filings, social media lost it. One fan tweeted, "If Taylor has to testify, she's showing up in a Reputation outfit, mark my words." Another joked, "The judge better watch out. Taylor will write a breakup song about him next." TikTok edits immediately popped up with clips of Taylor at past award shows, edited to look like courtroom footage. It was chaos and exactly the kind of gossip storm that Hollywood thrives on. The stakes. But make no mistake, this isn't just about memes. The stakes are huge. For Blake Lively, this is about reputation. She's trying to protect herself, her career, and her credibility as an actress stepping into a major project. If her claims hold up, she could walk away vindicated, and Justin could find his Hollywood future shattered. For Justin Baldoni, everything is on the line. His image as a good guy actor-director could vanish overnight. Hollywood is brutal about reputations, and once you're labeled difficult or worse, toxic, it's nearly impossible to bounce back. And for Taylor Swift, it's about brand protection. Taylor is bigger than music now, she's a global empire. The last thing she wants is to be splashed across tabloids in connection with a lawsuit she had nothing to do with. But even the association is risky, because where Taylor goes, headlines follow. The fan theories fans being fans, the theories started flying. Some believe Justin only pulled Taylor's name to intimidate Blake, as if threatening to drag her famous best friend into the mess would make her back down. Others think Taylor was always somehow tied to the project, maybe through soundtrack discussions or private investment. And this is why her name surfaced. And of course, the wildest theory. Taylor might write a secret song about the lawsuit, with cryptic lyrics referencing both Blake and Justin. Swifties are already combing through her unreleased vault tracks for clues, the media frenzy. By now, every tabloid, entertainment blog, and gossip channel had latched onto the story. Headlines screamed, Taylor Swift subpoenaed, pop star entangled in Blake versus Justin feud. Besties in trouble, Blake Lively's lawsuit could pull in Taylor Swift. It ends with us or with a court battle. It wasn't just a lawsuit anymore, it was a spectacle, and Taylor's name guaranteed global attention. What happens next? As of now, the case is still in motion. Lawyers are trading filings, Hollywood insiders are whispering about settlement talks, and fans are refreshing Twitter every 5 seconds. The big question is, will Taylor actually get pulled in, or will this all fizzle out before she has to take a seat in front of lawyers and answer uncomfortable questions about her Beasties feud? Fallout and what comes next. So now we've reached the point where Hollywood isn't just whispering about this drama, it's practically shouting. With lawsuits flying, Taylor Swift's name in the mix, and fans dissecting every move, the fallout is shaping up to be one of the most chaotic scandals of the year. Let's break down the reactions, the possible consequences, and what this all means for the players involved. Fallout for Blake Lively first, up Blake Lively. For years, Blake's image has been as clean as they come. She's the witty, fashion-forward star, married to Ryan Reynolds, raising her kids, and staying far away from controversy. This lawsuit has shattered that quiet image and thrust her into a public battlefield. Some fans see Blake as brave, finally standing up to a powerful man in Hollywood who they believe tried to silence her. Others worry this drama could overshadow her career comeback. Instead of being celebrated for a daring role in It Ends With Us, she's now linked to a messy court case. Still, one thing's clear. Blake isn't backing down. The decision to go legal shows she's ready to fight, even if it means headlines that she'd rather avoid. And with Taylor in her corner, Blake knows she has the most powerful PR shield in the business. Fallout for Justin Baldoni. For Justin Baldoni, the fallout is even heavier. Hollywood is ruthless with reputations, and directors accused of misconduct, even if unproven, often struggle to book projects afterward. Already, whispers are floating around about studios reconsidering deals with him. Will he get another big directing gig? Will Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon want to work with him amid this scandal? The industry loves talent, but it hates risk, and Justin is looking riskier by the day. Some fans of Jane the Virgin are defending him, arguing that he's being unfairly painted as the villain. But others are shocked, saying his good guy brand may have been a facade all along. The truth, even if he wins in court, his reputation has already taken a hit. Fallout for Taylor Swift. Now let's talk about the person everyone's obsessing over, Taylor Swift. Even though Taylor isn't suing anyone or being sued, her mere connection to this case has dominated headlines. And that's the power of being Taylor Swift. She's the biggest name in the world right now. So even the possibility of her being dragged into this legal fight is enough to overshadow the actual parties involved. Swifties are divided. Some are furious, saying Blake and Justin should leave Taylor out of it completely. Others are secretly hoping she does get deposed, because imagine the spectacle of Taylor Swift answering courtroom questions. That's reality TV gold, and you just know TikTok would eat it up. But from a branding perspective, Taylor has to tread carefully. She's built an empire on being in control of her narrative. Being pulled into someone else's mess, even as a witness, puts her in a vulnerable spot. That's why her team's response was swift. She's not agreeing to anything unless legally forced. The media circus tabloids and gossip sites are feasting. The story has all the ingredients: a best-selling book adaptation, a legal battle between two A-listers, and Taylor Swift, the world's biggest pop star, caught in the middle. Some outlets are already framing this as a test of friendship between Blake and Taylor. Will Taylor publicly stand by Blake if things get worse? Or will she keep her distance to protect her brand? Meanwhile, late-night hosts are cracking jokes, memes are flooding Instagram, and YouTube drama channels are churning out video after video with titles like Taylor Swift Courtroom Drama, What Really Happened Behind the Scenes? Possible outcomes. So, what happens next? Let's play out the scenarios. Settlement. The most likely outcome is that Blake and Justin settle behind closed doors. Hollywood hates messy public trials, especially when big stars are involved. A settlement would let both sides walk away without Taylor ever needing to step into a courtroom. Trial with Taylor deposed. This is the nightmare scenario for Taylor's team, but the dream scenario for gossip lovers. If the case goes to trial and Taylor is indeed deposed, we could see snippets of her testimony leak, or, at the very least, endless headlines about what she was asked. Reputation war. No matter the legal outcome, this case is already being fought in the court of public opinion. If Blake wins sympathy, Justin's career could nosedive. If Justin convinces the public he's the victim of a smear campaign, Blake risks being labeled difficult. And Taylor, she'll still walk away as the most powerful name in the room, no matter what. Fan reactions. Fans are turning this case into a pop culture event. Blake stans are praising her courage. Justin defenders are calling it a witch hunt, and Swifties, they're mostly just making memes about Taylor showing up in court with her cat Meredith in tow. One viral TikTok summed it up perfectly. Hollywood said it ends with us, but apparently it ends with subpoenas. The gossip factor. At the end of the day, this story has become bigger than the actual lawsuit. It's about narratives, friendship, betrayal, power, and the way Hollywood chews up and spits out its stars. Taylor Swift's involvement, whether big or small, has turned what might have been a niche industry squabble into a global headline, and as long as her name is attached, this drama isn't going away anytime soon. So here we are, a best-selling book adaptation gone off the rails, a lawsuit turning into Hollywood's latest circus, and Taylor Swift's name in the middle of it all. Will Blake and Justin bury the hatchet? Will Taylor actually have to face deposition questions? Or will this whole saga fade away as just another scandal in the endless Hollywood gossip machine? One thing's for sure, when Taylor Swift is even remotely involved, the story doesn't just stay in Hollywood, it takes over the world. And with that, my friends, this chapter of Hollywood drama might not be over yet. Because in Tinseltown, nothing really ends.